Welcome back. This series preps you for offensive AI security interviews, researcher and red team, and today we go to the top of the ladder. What does a principal-level offensive role actually get judged on, and how is that different from a strong senior?
The thing to internalize first at senior, you are the strongest hands in the room. At principal, the room is the unit of work. You're not evaluated on the cleverest jailbreak you found this quarter. You're evaluated on whether the whole program got sharper because you were there.
Let's make that gap concrete before we get into rounds. Same prompt, both levels. Where do the answers split?
Ask both to red team a new model. The senior designs a sharp campaign and runs it well. The principal asks what we're trying to learn, picks the two threats worth the team's quarter, decides what we deliberately won't test, and sets up the work so three other researchers can run it without them. Same task, completely different altitude.
So if execution isn't the headline anymore, what's the first thing they probe? Where does the interview start for a principal?
They want to see you set direction under ambiguity. A weak answer lists every attack class and promises to cover them all. A strong one names the two or three threats that actually move risk for this product, explains why the rest can wait, and states the bet plainly. Prioritization is the skill. Saying no is half of it.
Direction is the strategy. What about the machinery? They'll ask you to build or scale the actual team, right?
Yes, and this is where seniors often stumble. They describe how they personally do the work faster. A principal describes a system, how findings get triaged and routed, how you turn a one off exploit into a regression test, how you onboard a new researcher in weeks, not months. The tell is whether the program survives you taking a month off.
Most principals don't get to just give orders. They sit across from product and research teams who don't report to them. How do you test influence without authority?
This is the muscle that defines the level. You have no command over the team shipping the model, yet you need them to change it. Weak answer, I escalated to leadership. Strong answer, I showed the owning team a working exploit, framed the fix as their win, and gave them the regression test for free. You change behavior by lowering the cost of doing the right thing.
Offensive work is loaded ethically. You're building things that could do harm. How does disclosure and ethics show up at the principal altitude specifically?
At senior, you follow the disclosure process. At principal, you're the one writing it. They'll push on hard cases. A live exploit against a model your company ships, a finding that's dangerous to publish, a researcher who wants to drop a 0 day for clout. They want to see you balance defenders' need to know against handing capability to attackers and hold that line consistently.
Now the scary room. You're briefing executives. They don't speak attack chains. How do you communicate risk without turning into the security person who cries wolf?
Fear-mongering feels powerful and destroys your credibility. A principal leads with the decision being asked for, gives honest likelihood and business impact, and offers options with trade-offs instead of doom. Say this is severe and explain why. Say this is noise and own that too. Calibration is the asset. They fund the person they trust to be measured.
Part of leverage is other people. How do they probe whether you actually grow researchers versus just being the smartest individual contributor?
They listen for whether your stories are about you or about people you grew. Weak, I found the critical bug. Strong, I taught two researchers the methodology so they now find that class of bug without me. And I raised the review bar so weak, findings stop shipping. Your real output at principal is other people's output.
Offensive work is notoriously hard to measure. You can't promise X bugs a quarter. So how do you prove the team's impact?
Bug count is a vanity metric, and good interviewers know it. Talk about risk burned down, classes of attack now caught before launch, mean time to find a new jailbreak family, how much of your real threat model is actually covered. A principal can show their program got more effective over time, not just busier.
Let's name the traps. What quietly sinks a strong senior who's reaching for principal?
Staying the lone hacker who won't scale themselves, trying to influence by escalating instead of persuading, sounding the alarm on everything until leadership tunes you out, and telling every story as which makes interviewers doubt you can lead. Flip it. We set the direction. Here's the specific call I made. Own your decisions inside a team narrative.
If someone remembers one thing walking into a principal offensive loop, what is it?
Every round is asking one question. If we hand you the offensive mandate for the whole org, Will the program get sharper, safer, and more trusted? Set direction, scale through people, move teams without authority, and be the voice leadership believes on risk. Next episode, we covered the behavioral and soft skills round, the one that quietly decides your level.